You know, I think we can take Umezawa's Jitte off the ban list. What are you talking about? You can't take Umezawa's Jitte off the ban list. What are you, nuts? Do you even know why that thing was put on the ban list in the first place? It was to protect decks like yours, merfolk. That was the point, to protect the creature decks. Have you ever even seen what this thing does in Legacy? Do you see how OP it is in that format? Have you even played Legacy? Have you even played Legacy? Can Umezawa's Jitte come off the ban list? That's what we're going to talk about today. Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and we talk Magic on this channel. We love the discussion of Magic the Gathering. And if you want to check out more discussion like this, go check out my stream in the description below. But today we are going to talk about Umezawa's Jitte! Oh, Umezawa's Jitte, I don't care. I go with the Jitte, sounds better. So, Umezawa's Jitte, banned on the ban list, has been banned for years. 2 generic mana equipment. You can pay 2 to equip it to a creature. And if it deals combat damage, which is special, it's not like Sword of Fire and Ice or Sword of Feast and Famine, where it needs to deal combat damage to a player, so you can block it indefinitely to prevent the effects of those swords. With Umezawa's Jitte, if you block and deal combat damage to a creature, it's going to get the counters. You get 2 counters whenever it deals combat damage. And you can use these counters, you can remove 1 to either gain 2 life, give your creature that's equipped +2/+2, or you can give target creature -1/-1. So this is a card that has been a staple in Legacy for years. And not only that, it has been almost a feared card in Legacy for years. But in what era? In what era did it develop this fear? Did it develop this reputation? Because honestly, these days, no one says shit about Umezawa's Jitte in Legacy, alright? It's nothing. It's literally nothing. The Umezawa's Jitte, it gained its reputation during the era of the Delver. So we're talking when Rug Delver was all over the place and they ran 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Tarmogoyf, 4 Nimble Mongoose. And 8 of those main creatures, Delver of Secrets and Tarmogoyf, were really vulnerable to the Umezawa's Jitte. Either you sniped off any new Delver of Secrets that entered the battlefield, or if you had a Tarmogoyf versus Tarmogoyf war, you easily won it with the Umezawa's Jitte. So you attack with your 4/5 Goyf. If they want to block, it's gonna have 4 damage on it and only requires 1 -1/-1 counter to get rid of their Goyf. It was a huge mirror breaker at the time. Not to mention there are other decks around there like Elves, which are a bunch of 1/1s. And, well, anyway, those days are long gone. Like, decks look so much more different in Legacy today. The creatures are a lot more chunky. But, and that's what I want to say. Not only that, the removal is much more efficient. Like, ever since Fatal Push, it's really hard to get that card online. Like, do you have any idea how much mana you soak up in order to equip an Umezawa's Jitte? Look, a lot of people, the first condescending question they ask me, have you even played Legacy? And the answer is yes. Yes, I have played Legacy. And the Merfolk community is pretty much unanimous in dumping Umezawa's Jitte for the most part because it doesn't work anymore. It really just doesn't work. You spend 2 mana to get this thing on the battlefield, you gotta spend another 2 mana to equip it to a creature, and then somehow you have to connect with damage. And in between that, it's so easy to just undermine with 1 removal spell. Fatal Push, boom, everything that you worked for is like gone. And you are now super tempoed out, because this is Legacy. You don't have time to spend 2 mana, another 2 mana, and hope it works out. Because if it doesn't, you're now just super far behind. You're not coming back. Now, let's talk about the discussion of this in Modern. Because Modern is in a very interesting space, especially given Stoneforge Mystic got unbanned. Stoneforge Mystic got unbanned. There was a lot of hype over Stoneforge Mystic, but here's a very interesting thing. We don't even see Stoneforge Mystic at the time right now. Stoneforge Mystic does not really see play. Not really competitively. So it can see play, but it's definitely been displaced by the Snow Control decks, by the Urza decks, by the Uro decks. It is not competing with those archetypes. And I think for exactly what people assume Stoneforge Mystic would be when it entered Modern. You gotta pay 2 mana to get this creature in play. You don't have any attack yet. Then you have to pay another 2 mana to put your equipment onto the battlefield. Then you have to pay another 2 mana to equip it to a creature. And if they kill it, then now you're 6 mana down. This is modern. You don't have time to come back from that, and you're basically lost. It's as simple as that. Oh, by the way, there are so many other ways this could go wrong. You could play Stoneforge Mystic, find your equipment, and then they just bolt it at end of turn. They just fatal push this Stoneforge Mystic at end of turn. You basically did nothing on turn 2. Okay, yeah, you have the equipment, but now you're in the same spot as you did in Legacy, where you now have to hard cast this thing for mana, pay more mana to equip it to a creature. It's the same thing with even Batterskull. Okay, you soak 2 mana to get the Batterskull, you soak another 2 mana, put Batterskull in play, they fatal push the Germ token. Okay, well now what am I going to do? Pay 3 mana, put it back to my hand, pay another 2 mana to put it back onto the battlefield? Okay, so you've invested now 9 mana and you've barely done anything, and who knows what turn this is. Maybe you're even dead after you put the Batterskull back into your hand, because you don't have the time in Modern. You just don't. The Amulet Titan fucking laughs at you. They've already won after you put the Batterskull Germ token in play. Like, there's too many archetypes that either ignore this or have the removal to interact with you. So, I really don't know if this is going to be all that high impact. And not to mention, like, there's a bunch of artifact hate in Modern. I mean, look at Kolaghan's Command. We have so much artifact hate between, like, Ancient Grudge, Kolaghan's Command, Nature's Claim, what's it called? Force of Nature, I think it is. So all the artifact hate that we have in the format also splashes against this thing, if necessary, but honestly, just creature removal undermines the whole thing as it is. And, like, even the swords of today barely work. They just barely work. You know, because you can just kill the creature so easily. And let's say, okay, now let's talk fantasy land right now. Let's say you connect with your Jitte somehow. You get the counters. What, have you won? Did you win the game? Is it over? Is it really over? No. No, it's not over. In fact, you haven't done anything, and almost any deck can come back from that. You know, Primeval Titan laughs at you. Thought-Knot Seer laughs at you. Gurmag Angler, Death Shadow, they all laugh at Umezawa's Jitte right now. It doesn't matter. The -1/-1 clause won't do very much, if anything at all. Sure, Champion of the Parish is an 8/8 now. What are you going to do? Like, it doesn't do nearly enough. And Burn, again, is going to interact against this thing incredibly well, because they have Searing Blood and Searing Blaze, which are really popular in Modern, which may not have been nearly as popular in Legacy. I'm sure, actually, Burn would welcome this. Sure, waste all your time on this stupid Umezawa's Jitte. I'm just going to kill whatever creature you attach it to, and you're probably not going to get anywhere. Because there's no True Name Nemesis. You know, I mean, that was one of the main targets in Legacy that you could target, and you don't have one. You don't have one in Modern. It doesn't exist. So Jitte is way more vulnerable, and we've even seen right now in Modern that Stoneforge Mystic is not the OP card that some people had feared. It's actually just as vulnerable as, like, I think most people assumed. And it's just a fair card in Modern. It's just fair. And I really don't see the difference between Umezawa's Jitte and, like, Sword of Fire and Ice. Like, they're so similar. I just don't see how it's going to interact better than any of the swords that we have right now. I think Sword of Feast and Famine, which forces you to discard a card, lets me untap my lands and get a huge mana advantage, is going to be way better than something like Umezawa's Jitte, which is basically dirtling around and wasting time. Now, let's talk about, like, one of the main reasons it was originally banned. It was to protect the fair creature decks. Well, I'm a master of a very fair creature deck. I play Modern Merfolk, and let me tell you, I am just laughing at this card. I don't care. I don't care. And if Wizards of the Coast even gave a shit about protecting the fair creature decks, ban Plague Engineer. I will gladly exchange Plague Engineer for Umezawa's Jitte. We can do the swap today. At any moment, I will give the handshake, and let's let's unban Umezawa's Jitte. Let's put Plague Engineer on the ban list. I think that would be much more beneficial for me than this stupid this artifact that isn't really going to have any impact because it can barely get online. So anyway, that's all I have to say today. I think we can unban Umezawa's Jitte. I don't think it's the powerhouse that it used to be, and I most definitely don't think that it would overwhelm Modern in the slice. I don't even think anything would happen. It would just be like nothing happened whatsoever. It won't give Stoneblade like the missing tool to go over the top. It's already not the greatest card in Legacy, and it's barely gonna see. It's debatable whether it's better than than the swords. And even if it was, it would not be that big of an upgrade. It would be a tiny upgrade, just a little tiny. Oh, I want to make it small. It's just a little tiny upgrade. A tiny upgrade to what they already have. So anyway, this has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Am I full of it, or can we unban Umezawa's Jitte in Modern?